Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. We have artificial light, so this is gonna probably suck. This is just the last update I'm gonna do until tomorrow, maybe? Like, I don't feel like there's a big need to do major updates because it's just, well, right now we're at about 5 inches of snow according to the snow sticks, and it's gonna snow overnight, so we might actually get that whole 8 to 10 inches that they were talking about. Crazy. The freezing is definitely going to happen. The weather's it's not warming up. Obviously, I think where we're at is not going to be ice storm, but yeah, if you're like down in North Carolina's southern inland, not so much the coast, but sorry, northern inland parts of North Carolina, you're probably going to get the ice storm. On the coast, I don't think we're going to get it like that. So, yeah, definitely cold. A little bit of random wind. You can see puffs of dust flowing with it. So it's actually not dust, snow dust. It's actually cold enough that the snow is doing the dusty thing, which is just not normal for where we're at. Yeah. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's snow. It's a storm. It's going to freeze really bad. If you're in North Carolina, you should pay attention to that. I'm not in a position where I have to worry significantly about external power. The water's not going to freeze, like the ocean's not going to freeze. Like I don't have that big a deal. If things go with the grid for a day or two, it's not going to bother me. But if you're on land, if you're on shore and you're connected, and be aware that that's very possibly going to happen. So yeah, it's kind of a freaky storm, and it is just moving right through. It's not moving as fast now. It's still headed out to sea, but it's kind of like there's a lot going on. It's just going to sit here and go shoop all night long. It is supposed to warm up again in a couple of days after this passes, so another 24, 36 hours or something. And then it's going to get cold again. Not cold. So figure 2 more days, and it's going to stay in the 20s, low 30s, maybe. Like they're really calling for stuff like lows of 18 and 19, highs of 27, 28 for a couple of days. And I can see that shifting just the way these things normally work. I can see the highs reaching up to the upper 30s if the sun comes out and the wind isn't too bad and stuff. Just the air mass is probably going to shift because there's going to be some interaction with southern air masses. And I think, it's going to be cold, but then we're supposed to get up and be in the 50s for a good solid week. At the end of that week, only a little bit of a dip for some rain. So, this might be the last big one. It's not going to be the last big one for the Northeast. I can already see the air masses doing their thing, and there's going to be another decent, storm come through the east. But this, for the South, the southern part of the United States, this might be the last one that actually manages to get all the way down. It depends on how the Nina is on the Pacific, but I feel like this one's probably about it. It doesn't look like the western temperatures are staying low enough for there to not be a warm air effect coming through. So, we'll see. Of course, I could be totally wrong. There's going to be one more at the very end of February or beginning of March, and it'll be hilarious if it happens. I'm not confident enough to say it's time to go. If you're in a place where the snow, like if you're at a dock right now and you're in Deltaville, right? It's the southern part of Chesapeake Bay. If you're looking to go, I'm not confident enough to say that now is the time to leave the dock and go anchor out for a month. I'm not quite there. If you're on a big boat and you're going to make Oriental in like 2 days and then you're going from there, great, that's fine. Next week is actually a really good time. You've got your 4 or 5 days to get out of the boundaries of it. But if you're slow, if you're cruising, if you're doing these 10 to 20 mile days, instead of 50 to 80 mile days, or 120 mile days, you might want to just hang out till mid-March, because this is a very weird weather pattern. Everything's going really, really weird. I do think that for the areas south of whatever, Deltaville, Norfolk, wherever you're at, this is probably the last big one, the last really snowy kind of one. But yeah, it's a little weird. Probably going to be another northeast storm. It's probably going to be a nor'easter that starts closer to Baltimore instead of like Hatteras Point. And yeah, that's it. This is, I'm not really into weather prediction, but I'm watching this and I'm going by some feels and watching the stuff in the long range patterns and looking at the Pacific weather, because that's going to have a huge effect on what happens. And yeah, there might be another one. I just don't think it's going to be as far south as these last several have been. So, if you're in Connecticut, don't put away your snow tires for at least another 6 weeks. If you're in Virginia Beach, don't get out your bathing suit yet, but you could probably put away the snow tires after this weekend. If you even have them. All right, stay sideways.